Hello and welcome, Snake here. CA made a video about Total War Warhammer 40,000 and there was a couple interesting informations I would like to share if you haven't seen it. Of course, if you want to watch the entire video, I'm gonna leave it link down below. But yeah, I just want to focus on the most important things. First of all, these guys seems to really passionate about what they're doing, and I'm really happy passionate people about it took care of this upcoming game. I joke it in a comment and I'm gonna say it here. If this game gonna flop, it's because these guys played too much tabletop in their office over just creating a game, because apparently they did a lot of tabletop games, which is awesome because that's where they took their inspirations, and they played a lot of tabletop to learn the mechanics. They checked tons of codexes, everything. Games Workshop was really embracing this project really. So, oh man, this gives me hope. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I just want to focus about things they mention. And yes, I made myself a script, more or less, so I'm gonna try to follow it. So let's go. First, they describe 4 factions and how they're gonna play more or less. So you get Astra Militarum and Orcs, which I'm grouping them. They're gonna build infrastructure, your industry and everything, to deploy units and work with basic Total War, typical style of build and conquer. Then you have Eldars, and Eldari, let's call it Eldari, and Space Marine. When they do not build up the industry and develop it like this, no, you're gonna have way less men to deploy in combat, and they're gonna play different. So you don't build economy, you don't recruit units, no, you will have a certain cap, I think it's a cap, and that's it. So you're gonna have to play smart. I like how they compared one Astartes to around 100 troops. So you have more or less the balance. I wonder what if ever they gonna deploy Custodians, what ratio it gonna have. One Custodian is like 10 Space Marines or 15. I would like to know. And Eldars will play a little bit more from a stealth, so they will have to be really careful. They call them a glass cannons, so yeah, they will most likely be sniper, assassins, stuff like that. I never played Tabletop 40,000, so I'm not sure about Eldaris, how they play, but it sounds awesome. Somewhere in between, when they were talking about other things, they mentioned Psyker's abilities, and in my understanding, these Psyker's abilities gonna be more or less like a magic in Total War Fantasy. Some special abilities that gonna do something. And because they have magic in fantasy, so they can use the magic that they use and craft it somewhere like a Psyker's ability, which is awesome. That's even better. So just want to mention this because, yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And now the battles. And oh my god, I'm trying to embrace the concept of what they're doing with campaign and battles, and holy fuck, this is big. And because I'm trying to understand it, here is the space where I start to a little bit worry, because this is sounding so ambitious, so outside of a box, or outside of anything anyone ever did. And when it comes to such an ambitious project, in game devs always means eventually developers scrap something because it's too fucking big or not able to create. So here I do worry that it's maybe too ambitious. So let me start with the campaign. The campaigns are not gonna be like, a campaign's gonna be, you play a campaign, you finish it, and whatever you do will affect your next campaigns. And it sounds ridiculous because, yeah, it's just gonna be, Jesus, the scale of it is gonna be like, you play on a region of a planet, then you play on a planet, then you zoom out from a planet, you zoom into a space, which you have a system of multiple planets, and then multiple systems. So you're gonna have a map of a fucking galaxy, more or less part of it, and you're gonna be able to zoom to a region of a certain planet. Can you imagine how oh my god, that's gonna be fucking confusing. But yeah, you're gonna play on certain planets. And oh my god, I don't know how to even explain it to say it, but the scale sounds insane. Not gonna lie. And it's just, they call it Crusade. So you're gonna play Crusade, and you don't start from a typical start and everything is the same. No, it will be different because you did something in a previous campaign, and it's just closing each other. Now here's the couple of questions. Will it be as a campaign, narrative campaign, or it's just a sandbox where you're gonna, shift your galaxy here and there? Because, oh my god, there's so many questions I have, and I have no one to answer. So yeah, let's talk about it. If you wanna, I'm here. But don't go into a lore. Just focus on potential, what they said and how this could look like. So if it's and I wonder if these, like, not choices, but the results you have will affect future campaign of a same race, of a same faction. I wonder if this is gonna be something that really will matter, or it's for everyone. I think it should be locked for like certain. Since the galaxy, it looks like we're gonna have multiple systems of a planet. So it could be like you captured one system as Ultramarine, right? And then you started campaign as an Orcs, and that system belongs to Ultramarines. So you wanna sweep it from them. Oh my god, this is exactly the confusion that it gave so many questions, and it's gonna take time for them to answer. Because yeah, they nicely said about, the ambitious stuff, but without any details, and it strikes multiple questions. How does it gonna look? When it comes to battle, oh, this is nice, because you're gonna fight on a planet, right? You're gonna fight on a region of a planet. You conquer that region. Let's say they said hive mind, which will affect your campaign because you have a hive mind city and stuff like that. But yeah, then on orbit of this planet, you will have your fleet or ships that will serve you as a transport between planets. So let's say it's gonna be like legendary lore that you're gonna put in and you're gonna shift to another planet. But not only that, it will be like a Black Ark because it will have some abilities. Also, for Astartes, for Space Marines, it will be reinforcement hub. Because yes, each you will have option to have a reinforcement. Let's say you're gonna have an army, or fuck, I don't even know, but yeah, army, and you're gonna have like a backup reinforcement units on your ship. For Space Marine, you can drop pods. You can drop pod and they will be deployed to a battlefield. Eldari can, the warp teleport them. Oh my god, the humans, the Astra Militarum will be the most fucked, because they will have to send troops normal, and they're gonna have to just grind. So Astra Militarum is grindy as fuck. Definitely gonna play them. and yeah, so a lot of interesting things. They mentioned zooming out. I wonder if you can zoom out during the battlefield or during... The zooming out is confusing. The zooming out is the something it confuses. Obviously not gonna happen during the battle. However, they showed in a cinematic it happens during the battle, but that cannot be true. So you zoom out like you zoom out in a province, and let's go back to a Total War, right? Let me show you a Total War, right? Come on, yeah. And yeah, Total War, you have a, let's say, yeah, you have a region on a planet, right? As region, so I zoom it, region on a planet, it has a couple of provinces. At least that's what I understand. Yeah, let's say this is a region on a planet. And there is another region on a planet, and there is another. I zoom out, and that's a planet. Right? And then I zoom out again, and I have a planet nearby. So I have two planets. And then I zoom in. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. So planets might be like a provinces, but much more deployed. And each region will be like... Each region should be more developed. So like one region of a planet will be like a couple of provinces. Then you captured, or at least big province, right? Then the next region, it's gonna be another province in Total War, current Total War, like Total War Warhammer. So this is a region of a planet, this is a region of a planet, this is a region, and let's say Grand Cafe is a planet. And when you conquer it, everything, then you zoom out, you pack your shit, and you move to another planet here. I think, at least that's how I understand it. So yeah, this makes sense, more or less. Because everyone had a question, how they put it in the typical Total War mechanic. And I think it's gonna be like that. More or less. And the planets will be collected into a system, and system will be, part of another system, and it's just... They basically created a massive fucking map, and they've split it into regions that you can have access by just clicking different planet. More or less. Sounds awesome. Like I said, this sounds ambitious, and it gives many questions. What I like about this in general, this whole crusade idea, is that you can eradicate a planet. You can call for exterminators for a planet. Exterminatus. Yeah, let's call it like this. You can call for a planet, and it's not gonna be easy. And if you do eradicate a planet, it will disappear forever without... Yeah, and now, forever for what? This faction, this playthrough, this crusade? Because another thing is that you create a profile, and this profile will have a separate campaign, and each profile will have a campaign's different. It will have like at least in my understanding, each crusade will be like a profile save file, and you do shenanigans on this. So it's not gonna be save for just a faction. It's gonna be profile for entire crusade, and within this crusade, all the changes will matter. At least that's how I'm trying to understand it. But again, I might be wrong. There was also about a lot of range units, a lot of range battle, but don't worry, melee battles, melee fighting will happen as well. Of course, they mentioned that a lot of units will have that, hybrid style of a unit, while typical Space Marine owns like a melee weapon, range weapon, so they will do both. Yeah, it will happen like typical Warhammer. Range, pew 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 pew, they get close, slash, chainsaw. So, when it comes to combat itself, I do not worry, you should not worry at all. It's gonna be typical Warhammer 40k with all the, juicy stuff. And yeah, I think I collected everything, so now the final one is going to be fully customization for your faction. You can create your own faction as a Astartes or whatever and just paint it. It's gonna be it's gonna be a fucking army painter. Something that a Total War Warhammer Fantasy wanted from the start. Yeah. And I don't mind, it has to be like that because 40k requires it. There is so many chapters, people creating their own, and you want to have your own stuff. And yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm gonna play Ultramarines or Dark Angels or Grey Knights. But yeah, mostly I wish the Grey Knights be developed. Yeah, please. When you develop any kind of demons, give me Grey Knights, please. So this customization for faction is definitely a massive fan favor, massive player favor, because they know we wanted this. I wanted this for you guys, but for me, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I will play the original chapters. I have no need of creating my own. My son will. Once I teach him how to play, my son will definitely want to create something of his own. But for me, nah, it's fine. So, yeah, this is something I won't bother. But I'm happy for all of you. Sorry, I touched the mic. For all of you that really wanted this. And yeah, I think that's it. That's a little bit of me telling what they said, plus potential idea how this could look from my perspective. But I'm open for discussion because I feel like maybe I got it wrong, and you definitely can. Maybe you will open my eyes if you have an idea how it's gonna look. Not gonna lie, it sounds awesome. And one of you in the comments said there is a possibility it's gonna deploy like 2027 or late 2026. There is a chance because they've been working on it for a long time already. That's why they've been slacking since Warhammer released Fantasy. They've been slacking on it because they've been working on a 40k for years now. If they manage to hold it in the secrecy for a long time till like this year, that's something. But who knows? I cannot be sure. It's just a rumor. But it would be nice. It would be nice to have it sooner than later. Anyway, like I said, I'm leaving a link down below to entire video. Watch it yourself if you want. And if you like my work, feel free to leave a like. You could help me a lot by subscribing. And if you don't like what I do, tell me what exactly is it so I can develop. But yeah, I am excited as hell, but I do worry because it's a little bit ambitious, but maybe it's not. Maybe the systems, the galaxies, everything is not that complicated. It's just separate the different maps. It's gonna be like realms of chaos. Each system or each planet will be like a map in a different location that you don't, something like that. So if it's this way-ish, then it's not that complicated after all for development and just, for grasping. So yeah, it might be okay. Maybe it's not that ambitious as I think. But enough from me. Thank you for watching. Tell me what do you think. In the meantime, I'm going to sleep. Good night.